Welcome to our show, where we delve into the fascinating lives of influential figures who have shaped the world as we know it. Born on May 26, 1926, in Alton, Illinois, Miles Dewey Davis III would grow up to become a legendary figure in jazz history, leaving an indelible mark on the music world. As we embark on this journey through the life of Miles Davis, let us begin by examining his early years, which laid the foundation for his future success. The Davis family, consisting of Miles's parents, Cleo and Miles II, and his younger sister Dorothy, resided in a comfortable home on Milstead Street in East St. Louis, Illinois. This charming neighborhood was lined with tall oak trees, and the houses were a mix of old and new, reflecting the gradual growth of the city. The Davis' household was a hub of musical activity, with Cleo playing piano and singing in the local church choir. Miles's father, Miles Thuzen, was a successful dentist who had moved to East St. Louis from Arkansas, seeking better opportunities for himself and his family. He was a strict disciplinarian who valued education and hard work, but also encouraged his son's early interest in music. The Davis household was filled with the sounds of jazz, blues, and classical music, which would later influence Miles's unique style. Cleo, an accomplished pianist, would often play for her family, and Miles would sit at her feet, mesmerized by the melodies and harmonies. As a child, Miles attended Crispus Attucks Junior High School, where he was introduced to the trumpet by his music teacher, Elwood Buchanan. Buchanan, a talented musician himself, recognized Miles's potential and encouraged him to practice regularly. Miles's father, seeing his son's dedication, purchased a trumpet for him, and soon Miles was practicing every day, determined to master the instrument. The family's home on Milstead Street was filled with music, with Cleo playing piano and Miles practicing his trumpet. This nurturing environment allowed Miles to develop his skills and explore different genres of music, from classical to jazz and blues. His early influences included not only jazz musicians like Louis Armstrong and Duke Ellington, but also classical composers like Mozart and Chopin, whose works he would often listen to on the radio. As we reflect on Miles's early life, it becomes clear that his family, education, and environment all played a significant role in shaping his character and future path. The support of his parents, the influence of local musicians, and the cultural richness of East St. Louis all contributed to his development as a musician and an artist. The city's vibrant music scene, which included legendary venues like the Blue Note and the Cotton Club, would later provide Miles with opportunities to perform and learn from other musicians. In this idyllic setting, surrounded by music and encouragement, Miles Davis began to cultivate his unique talent, laying the groundwork for a lifetime of innovation and creativity. As we explore this pivotal period in Miles's life, it becomes clear that his experiences in the 1940s were instrumental in shaping his unique style. In 1944, Miles moved to New York City to attend the Juilliard School, where he studied music theory and composition. However, it wasn't long before he became disillusioned with the formal education system and dropped out to pursue a career in jazz. Miles's big break came when he joined Charlie Parker's band, where he played alongside other legendary musicians like Dizzy Gillespie and Thelonious Monk. This experience not only honed his skills as a trumpeter, but also exposed him to the fast-paced and competitive world of jazz. As Miles himself once said, "If you understand it, it's not jazz." This mantra would guide his approach to music throughout his career, as he continually sought to push boundaries and challenge conventions. In the late 1940s, Miles began to make a name for himself as a bandleader and composer. His nonet, which included musicians like Gary Mulligan and Lee Konitz, recorded several sessions that would later be compiled into the iconic album Birth of the Cool. This album, with its innovative arrangements and introspective soundscapes, marked a significant departure from the bebop style that dominated the jazz scene at the time. Miles's personal life during this period was also marked by turmoil. He struggled with addiction and relationships, including a tumultuous marriage to dancer Frances Taylor. Despite these challenges, Miles continued to produce some of his most innovative work, including the album Bag's Groove, which featured a unique blend of jazz and blues. As we reflect on Miles's achievements during this period, it becomes clear that his experiences in the 1940s laid the groundwork for his future success. His willingness to take risks and challenge conventions would become a hallmark of his career, as he continually sought to innovate and push the boundaries of what was possible in jazz. In addition to his musical achievements, Miles's personal style and charisma also began to make an impact during this period. He became known for his impeccable fashion sense, which blended elements of hipster cool with a touch of elegance. His iconic poses and introspective gaze would become a staple of jazz photography, capturing the essence of a man who was both deeply thoughtful and intensely creative. The 1960s and 1970s were a time of great change and experimentation for Miles. He began to incorporate elements of rock and funk into his music, which was reflected in albums such as Bitches Brew and On the Corner. These albums were groundbreaking in their use of electronic instruments and studio techniques, and they marked a significant departure from the traditional jazz sound that Miles had helped to establish. One notable example of Miles's experimentation during this period is his iconic album Bitches Brew, which was released in 1970. This double album was a fusion of jazz, rock, and funk, featuring extended improvisations and avant-garde studio techniques. The album's use of electronic instruments, such as the electric piano and synthesizer, added a new layer of complexity to Miles's sound, and its influence can still be heard in music today. In addition to his musical innovations, Miles was also known for his iconic style and charisma during this period. He became a fashion icon, often wearing stylish suits and sunglasses on stage and off. His confident and introspective stage presence has been emulated by countless musicians, and his influence can still be seen in the way that many artists present themselves today. Despite his success and influence, Miles's personal life continued to be marked by turmoil during this period. He struggled with addiction and health problems, including a hip replacement surgery in 1972 that left him unable to perform for several years. However, even as he faced these challenges, Miles continued to produce innovative music, including the album Get Up With It, which featured a mix of jazz, rock, and funk influences. In the 1980s, Miles experienced a resurgence in popularity, thanks in part to his collaborations with younger musicians such as Prince and Marcus Miller. His album Tutu, released in 1986, was a commercial success and featured a mix of jazz, rock, and pop influences. The album's use of electronic instruments and studio techniques was a testament to Miles's continued willingness to experiment and innovate, even in his later years. As we reflect on the later life of Miles Davis, it becomes clear that his experiments with fusion and rock were a natural progression of his earlier work as a jazz innovator. His willingness to take risks and challenge conventions had always been a hallmark of his career, and his continued innovations in the 1960s, 1970s, and 1980s cemented his status as one of the most influential musicians of all time. Miles Davis passed away on September 28, 1991, but his legacy continues to inspire and influence generations of artists and fans alike. His music remains a testament to his innovative spirit and his unwavering commitment to pushing the boundaries of what was possible in jazz. In conclusion, Miles Davis's later life was marked by continued innovation and experimentation as he pushed the boundaries of what was possible in jazz and beyond. His legacy is a testament to the power of creativity and innovation, and his music remains an inspiration to artists and fans around the world. That's all for today's biography with Plutarch. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, remember that understanding the lives of remarkable individuals helps us better understand ourselves.